I said, guess who's back? Man, guess who's back? I said, guess who's back?
What's going on, guys? Backchat TV. So let's get straight into this. Daniel Dubois and Miller. I'm definitely looking forward to this fight. Big Baby Miller has definitely promoted this fight, and at first I wasn't really too keen on kind of the things he said in the press conference. I thought he had a cheek to be off on a drug ban for how many years and then come back and start saying all these disrespectful things to people. I didn't really like it, but then once it kind of clicked and I realized that he was really selling this fight, kudos to him. I think Miller's actually done a great job to do his part in the promotion and make sure that maybe he gets on this kind of fight card again. So he's done a good job, but he's kind of convinced people that he has a really good chance and that this is a 50-50 fight because he is an unbeaten fighter. But in reality, Dubois should be the favourite, and I think for some good reason. Big Baby Miller hasn't fought anybody of any note whatsoever. His biggest win is probably Lucas Brown or something like that. I can't even remember anyone else who Jerome Miller has fought apart from Lucas Brown, and he even struggled with Lucas Brown, to be honest. But to be fair, in Jerome Miller's defence, his opponent Dubois has not looked great either, and he hasn't fought the best competition either. I do think Daniel Dubois has fought considerably better competition than Jerome Miller, and he's beaten considerably better people. But at the top level, he's faltered. He didn't beat Usyk, he didn't beat Joe Joyce, and we saw what happened to Joe Joyce when he fought Zhang. So we know that Daniel Dubois is not quite as good as those guys yet, but he's still a good prospect and he's young. This is the best time to get him. If Jerome Miller's going to win beat any major, like a high level fighter, it's now, because I would even say it's before. Before now would have been a great fight. He would have had a better chance before Daniel Dubois had a chance to get some experience, because I think Daniel Dubois is missing a lot of experience because he is young, and he's kind of not that comfortable under the lights, but now he's getting comfortable under the lights. And I think Jerome Miller may have just missed out on his chance to beat somebody like Daniel Dubois. Yeah, I mean, if he would have kind of got him just after the Joe Joyce fight, I think he wasn't experienced enough to really deal with the pressure of a fight. And we know Jerome Miller is very good at applying pressure, and I think he would have probably broken Daniel Dubois with his pressure. But now, Daniel Dubois is seasoned. He's fought Usyk, a tough fight for him. We know that he's got talent. He was able to land a perfectly placed body shot, which sat Usyk down for more than 5 minutes. The referee didn't allow it in the end, but on the replay, it showed that it wasn't very far off from being legal. A lot of other referees would have allowed it. We know that Daniel Dubois can punch, and I feel like Daniel Dubois probably just needed a boost in confidence. We've all had situations where we've learned how to do something, but when you have to apply it on the big stage, you lose your bottle, basically. And I think that's what happened to Daniel Dubois a few times. He can be excused twice. Once against Joyce, he kind of quit. Against Usyk, the best in the world, he kind of quit. But I feel like that confidence probably is there now, and he's got no reason to be afraid of Jerome Miller. I feel like this is when we're going to see the best come out of Daniel Dubois. And as for Miller, I don't think Miller's got the talent to beat Daniel Dubois. Now, Miller can box. It's not that he can't box, he can box. But I don't feel like he's dedicated to the sport enough. He's just not. There's no point dedicating yourself for a few weeks for a big fight. You have to be dedicating yourself day in, day out, being active, getting better, improving. And I think that's what Daniel Dubois has been doing. I don't think that's what Miller's been doing. I believe that Miller's going to come in, give his best, but I think Miller's going to be the one that actually folds under the pressure. And I think Daniel Dubois is going to really put it on him and probably get him out of there in under 7 rounds, I would say. I think the pace is going to get too much for Miller, and you know, I kind of think Miller's a bit of a quitter himself. It's just that we haven't seen it in him yet. I feel like he's extremely undisciplined, Miller. Very inconsistent and undisciplined. And those type of people tend to be quitters as well, you know. So I think Daniel Dubois knows that this is the level he's going to be at. He knows it's a make or break thing for him. You know, he's not going to be seen as a prospect at all if he loses this fight to someone like Miller. And I think Daniel Dubois is going to do the job. If, on the other hand, he did lose, this would be a very bad situation for Daniel Dubois, I feel. You know, if you're a prospect, you've got to be beating a guy like Miller. Undisciplined, you know, someone who can't control himself properly. He'll be tough for the first couple of rounds when he's got a lot of energy. He does have a lot of skills. He does have a good stamina, but you know, we've never seen him really up against someone with the firepower that Daniel Dubois carries, and I think that's going to change the outlook for Miller, and I think we're going to see Miller quit underneath the pressure. I think Daniel Dubois can drop Miller. It could be a decision, but the way Daniel Dubois throws his punches with intentions, I think that, you know, someone's going to get hurt. I don't see Miller having the same kind of firepower that Daniel Dubois has. So I've got Daniel Dubois winning this fight quite comfortably, and you know, people believing in him again, and then we can get rid of Miller, the drug cheat. As for some of the other fights on this card, Wilder versus Parker, definitely looking forward to this fight. Definitely, both fighters have a lot to prove. Wilder seems to really relish the opportunity and is looking to administer that knockout to Parker, but Parker is actually in the best shape I've ever seen him in. He looks fast. He really looks like he's been training properly this time, and often he doesn't seem like he's been training as hard as he could have done, but now he definitely seems motivated, and I want to see if that makes a difference. To be honest, most people think Wilder's gonna just knock him out. That's what most people have said, but Parker is really proven, and Wilder kind of isn't. You know, I'm a Wilder fan, don't get me wrong. I think that right hand gets rid of everybody apart from Tyson Fury, and even Tyson Fury dropped multiple times. So, you know, I really don't know who's got an answer to that right hand, but we still haven't really seen Wilder in the kind of, you know, the level of competition that he should be at. For how long he's been boxing? Not much longer or shorter than Anthony Joshua, about the same time. Anthony Joshua has amassed an amazing record. You know, to be honest, he is the most proven fighter on the stage. So many fights he's had with top contenders, and in all the fights that Wilder's had, the only top level fight maybe he had, you could say, was Ortiz. But Ortiz was beaten quite convincingly by Andy Ruiz. So apart from Ortiz, Wilder's top fights were against Fury, which he lost. You know, so I don't know what that says, but basically Wilder has knocked out fighters that have been less than average, you could say. So what that means is that he's still not really proven. Although we have an idea that he could be one of the best, we don't really know it. And this is going to be the exact type of event that will show who really is the best and who's a contender to the Usyk and Fury fights. So, you know, I'm looking forward to it. Parker's got every chance. I feel like in the first few rounds, if Parker is landing shots and getting out of the way of Deontay Wilder's right hand, you know, then Parker's won. If Parker can find a way to neutralize that right hand and show better footwork and start landing hard punches, you know, we've all seen Wilder on the back foot. If Parker can push Wilder back, I want to see if Wilder's got an answer for that. The likelihood is it's unlikely that that's what's going to happen. It's much more likely that Parker makes some kind of mistake and Wilder makes him pay for it instantly, which is what Wilder does. He doesn't waste time when he sees that opening. Right hand, Parker's, you know, stumbling around after taking a very heavy shot, and maybe he doesn't get up or Wilder comes in for the kill. So I still got Wilder winning, but I do think that Wilder might have to go through some adversity in this fight. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was a one-sided beating, by Parker, just because of the fact that we haven't seen Wilder fight a top level skillful fighter before, really. So, you know, that's an acid test for him. With Anthony Joshua, it's different. Anthony Joshua has fought everybody. You know, obviously, the only 3 fights he hasn't made is Wilder, Usyk, and Tyson Fury. Apart from that, he's fought every single person of any note. And I have to commend Anthony Joshua for that. He's the most proven fighter up there. I don't know why he gets so much stick. He's fought so many top 10, top 5 fighters, and he's only lost twice. You could say 3 times, but you know, twice to one person. But he's only lost twice. And the fight that he did lose against Andy Ruiz, he got that fight back. He got revenge back in the rematch, and the rematch wasn't even close. So in a way, you could say that Alexander Usyk is the only person he convincingly lost to. Now, that's not a bad record. I don't know why people are saying Anthony Joshua is washed up, he's got no chance and stuff like that. You know, he's shown anything but that. If you look at his record, he's got a tough fight with Wallin. Wallin is a good fighter, a skillful fighter, and he's sneaky. He does have some kind of sneaky power. We saw what he did to Tyson Fury. But I do think Anthony Joshua should be able to get through this. But again, it's a potential banana skin. Wallin looks so motivated for this fight, and you know, I want to see what happens. But I have to say, Joshua looks really motivated as well. Although he looks under a bit of stress and there's a lot of tension there, his mindset seems to have gone back to that kind of determined, kind of you know, no fear mindset that he had in the beginning, which made him a star and which he kind of lost. You know, I feel like he lost mainly because of outside endorsements and outside commitments. And, you know, once you lose that focus in boxing at the top level, you get beaten. And that's what happened. I feel like he's realized that the money is nothing compared to, you know, the legacy. And all he wants to do is fight, become 3 world champion, do all the things that people said he couldn't do. And he seems to have that mindset back. So I see him getting past Wallin. I see Wilder getting past Parker, and I see a big fight in March, 9th of March is what they rumoured the fight to be, between Wilder and Joshua, and I can't wait for that fight. Let me know what you think. I'm on to the next one.
I said, guess who's back? Man, guess who's back? I said, guess who's back?